All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sidetrack Sunday. Um, Tonight I have a project on doing a remote control for a MTH box car, an action car, and I also have Sparky here tonight. So let me. Oh, I meant to add that in. Okay. And I will go back to the top and welcome everybody in here. So we have Boxcar Jerry, Mike Jordan, thank you, Dundas Model Junction, Sparky, Lynn McCurdy, and the HDMMRC, Schuylkill River Valley, John number 2, Chuck Schreiber, Bob from PK&W, Edward from Happy Valley Hobbies. I'm just reading through the chat here. Hot Dog Pilot Andy.
Mr. Mason Dixon popping in there. Dell Hudson.
All right, Joe Rader, Black Rock Central.
I think I'm already ahead of you in the chat.
You might be. I went all the way back to the top there. Dell Hudson, Container Man 68. That kind of shifted on me here as I was reading it. Steve 87, peace out. Okay, I think that's everybody. We'll go back down to the bottom here of the chat. I'm going to show you what the topic is, and then I'm going to let Sparky go on. Let me remove this, and I want to make that bigger.
I feel so manipulated.
What's that?
I feel so manipulated and vulnerable right now.
Yeah, you're usually doing leading these. So what I have here is this box car. It's an MTH box car, and this is a he pushes crates out of it. And what I did is I set it up to use this remote control. Normally, what you would do is you would have this UCS track. It's a 5-rail track that would control that. So you would have to have these on your layout in different places to make one of these work. So with this remote control, you can operate it from anywhere. And just by pressing the button here, you can see how that operates.
Yeah, nothing
so
came
you have
out.
This little. What's that, Sparky?
I said nothing came out.
Yeah, I know. I didn't actually put the crates in there. I want to put this together and do that. So I was just showing you how it works.
Oh, so you're showing a demonstration of how it manipulates stuff, but it doesn't actually work yet.
You want me to get a crate?
Well, a crate would finish the demonstration and then prove to us that it actually works.
Okay, hold on.
It makes sound. He's going to kick me off the stream you watch. All right, you're out of here. We even had to open it. I didn't say
I don't know how
anything
these
bad.
go in here. So we got a little crate here with some bottles in it. I don't know how they go in here. The truth of this is not my box car. In other words, I did this for someone else.
Oh. Oh, it takes it back.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Okay. Now Sparky's happy because I made it actually work.
You're a genius.
No, I'm actually not a genius. I just copied this whole plan. And actually, this is for Del Hudson. He asked me if I could do this. He like found a website that explained how to do it. So I went ahead and said, all right, let me figure this out. So I went to the website and actually made this work. Hold on a minute there. Todd Armstrong showed up. Ray Burlstein showed up. Mason Dixon, you said hello to him. Okay. And Curly Express, I don't know if I said him or not. Okay. So I'm going to show you how this works and everything. Since I have Sparky here, Sparky wanted to talk about his meet and greet. So let me put Sparky up here if my mouse starts to work. There we go. Okay. You want to talk about your meet and greet?
I'm a biggin. I'm a big boy now. Meet and greet's only in 10 days. So are you all packed?
Not packed. Finally made reservations.
Did you get the hotel?
I did not get the hotel that you had suggested. They are all booked up. I stayed at the Hilton Garden Inn, and that's where Bob from PK&W is staying. Yeah, so the one that the Cambridge Inn and Suites is in fact booked up. So we can still get rooms at the Hilton Garden Inn.
Yeah, and it's like 50 feet down the street. So
okay, good to know.
It'll be good there in the meeting place for picking people up for transferring them around and stuff like that. It'll still be the Cambridge hotel that I've got listed. So everybody's
very
still close by, so that'll be good. Now you're bringing your car up, right?
Yes.
So hopefully your GPS works really good here and you can give people rides. Never know.
I do have a Garmin. I plan on picking Nathan up on the way up there. He's kind of on the way. I have my Chevy Silverado. It's got a extended cab. So if you're small and you can fold in half, you're welcome to sit in the back seat.
There you go.
Or in the bed of the truck. I don't know how that goes in Canada.
No.
I mean, if you sit in the glove box, you're welcome.
Yeah, you got to have the seat all bolted down. Plus, it's got to have seat belts on it. So if you're sitting in the back, not like the good old days where you just rolled around and slid from one end to the other and thought it was fun.
Right, like the good old days.
Yeah, so I don't know what time you're planning on getting here Thursday, but the first event is at 4:00. Takes about 40 minutes to get from the hotel to there. So
you said Thursday. I thought it was Friday.
No, it's Friday. Did I just say Thursday?
You said Thursday.
Yeah, no, it's Friday. I told you I'm tired. I'm going crazy. Working 6 days a week, still working on the YouTube meet and greet. There's lots of information coming in, emails to answer and get everything finalized. So on and so forth. And then I'm looking at my layout, and I did a layout update today. So hopefully people can check that out after your live stream, but got this thing looking like it's not, I don't know, plywood heaven anymore for the most part. So added a little color.
Always a work in progress.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, the Friday we're all going to meet up OSR, Ontario Southland Railroad, get a nice tour of the shops and some of their railway equipment that they got sitting there. I'm not sure if they'll let us up into a locomotive or not. I know when I was there previously, there are two GP15s or 18s sitting in there, the RS18s, I forget what they were. But sitting in the yard, idling away, and he said, help yourself, do what you want, climb on the machines, go in the cabs. And back then, I was not brave enough to actually go into a cab of a locomotive that's running. Would have been kind of cool. I should have done it. But then after that, we're going to head over to OVR Trains, buy some stuff off of him. He just got a big estate sale. So not only is there going to be new model trains there, he's going to have a whole bunch of used stuff. So that's going to be good to the pocketbook for a few people. Then after that, we're going to head over to my place and play with the trains for a little bit. So this will be your first time Yeah.
So
be
you'll
your
have some
person
time
if
on
you want.
Friday night to open up your shed.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
know Nathan's been over here and a few others, but it'll be nice to get some of the newer people over to have a good look at it and run some trains and take some pictures of my layout, because the following day on Saturday, we're going to go to St. Thomas, the Elgin County Railway Museum, and that is what I base my main yard off of. There's all those buildings right there. So we're going to actually get a tour of the museum itself, the rail shop car, and we're going to walk past the main station because there's 2 weddings, and I'd like to say a funeral, but that's not the case. So 2 weddings and another special event going on inside the building, so we can't actually get into the old station, but we're going to walk past it. It's a good 500 feet long building, so it'll take a bit of time. And I was talking to an electrician that's working on the BX switching tower down there, and it hasn't been open for years. And believe it or not, it's going to be open the day before our meet and greet. So they had the meet and greet in mind and set themselves a deadline, and they're going to have it all done and ready to go for us. So
Excellent.
yeah, if you don't know what a switching tower is, it's a big building, whole bunch of levers in it that do interlocking for switching outside on the tracks. And this one did a diamond, 2 crossovers, and then half the yard. So probably about 50 switches it operated. So that's only day number. Well, that's day 2, half of day
Right.
2. Then we're going to go for 2:30, but I'm going to say 2 o'clock. Get to the Waterloo Central Railway.
Right.
That's where we're going to go for a train ride. Then we're going to go for a shop tour in there, and they got lots of RDCs, a steam locomotive, a couple of cabooses, and of course the dining car that we're going to be fed a gourmet meal on at 5:30. Train comes back at 7:30, and again, you can either go back to your hotels after that, or you can come back over to my place and we can run some trains for 3-4 hours, which will take us into Sunday. You're still going to be here for the Sunday event.
I am.
There you go. So
Yes.
we're going to head down to Toronto. Going to check out Mini Prince headquarters where he makes all his mini prints. And I actually haven't been to it since he's expanded to the following, or to the neighboring, I don't know, office, I guess you want to say. So he now has 2 offices in the same building. So it should be pretty cool. It'll be my first time getting there for a long time. Henderson's is across the street, so there's always a good quantity of beer that we can drink. Going to see the Via Rail Canadian train that goes from Toronto to Vancouver, or to British Columbia, I guess. And it's the longest Via train that we run, and one of the most expensive. Like, the thing's 8-12 grand just to get from one end of the country to the other. So it's on the bucket list, but I don't know. And then, of course, from there, we're going to go to Little Canada. That's going to be a $50 price tag for people that are coming. Canadian. So keep everything in mind. All prices are in Canadian when I'm saying it. And that thing, if anybody knows Miniature Wonderland over in Germany, Little Canada is the equivalent to that for coast-to-coast experience with model trains. Animations, all kinds of things. You will not be impressed, and you will not leave there within 3 hours. Guaranteed it takes you over 3 hours to go through.
It's
And I've
on
been
the
there.
street in Toronto.
Yeah. And I've been to that place twice now, and it doesn't matter what scene you look at, you go away and you come back a half hour later, the scene will be different. So it's pretty cool. And then from there, we might end up back at Mini Prince headquarters and Henderson's, have a drink together, and then see what the groups of people want to do, because we're going to be obviously giving people rides from hotels to the events. So some things are still up in the air, but that's the gist of the meet and greet. That's 3 days of events. Not too expensive. The Little Canada part, I think, is going to be the most expensive part at $50. Everything else, we got a bit of a discount on the meals. Guys got a bit of a discount on because she didn't include taxes when I made up the price for the meals. So everybody got an $807 discount except me. I kind of have to pay taxes. So, but the other thing, the good news on that, I got an email yesterday from somebody that's flying in from British Columbia, and he wants a ticket on the dinner train. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got one left. I'll have to get your meal idea right away and get it sent in. And not 10 minutes before this live stream, I got another email from 2 people wanting 2 more tickets for the dining car. That would put me at 42. So the dining car is sold out.
Very good.
I'm starting to go
into
into
panic.
panic.
More than 42?
I cannot. 42 is the max.
Okay.
So I was starting to get a little stressed out there that my meal was going to cost me $1,200 with taxes and 2 meals for Amy and I, and then any other meals that didn't go. But it looks like I'm going to sold out, and I'm definitely not going to break even on this one. I am, like I said, going to be about $1,000 in the hole on that one. Sucks, but hey, it's my vacation, and you spend money on vacation, so I guess it cost me a little bit.
Well, I mean, how was that? Because you said you had to have your 40 for the diner car, right?
Yeah, but when she kept telling me about the dining car price, and she always gave me a certain price, it was always the same price. So that is the price that I sent you guys, all broken down into 42 bits. And then she sent me the invoice, and it was the price that she's been telling me, plus the GST and the taxes, which came out to $804 more.
Oh.
So taxes are not included with your meals. Donations will be highly accepted at the train car for sure. If anybody wants to offset that cost, but that's not too much.
So it ends up an extra 100 or not 100, $20 a person?
Roughly that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $20-$30 extra a person, but again, I'm not too worried about it. It works out in the long run. So,
okay.
Excellent news. Glad you sold out the dining car. Yes, Todd, so am I. I was really starting to get worried about that. Like I said, being on the hook for the taxes is one thing. Being on the hook for 5 more meals, that was another. So, leftovers better be really good. But Dave, you've been to some of my meet and greets. Like, what do you think this one's going to be like?
Well, it looks interesting. We have a full schedule of events. I actually made a Word document here with a schedule on it that I meant to send you. So, excellent. We have, like I said, a good full schedule. The dining car ride sounds good. I'm interested in seeing Little Canada. So it's always good to do a meet and greet, like with an activity, and then to see some layouts and things like that. So, yeah, a couple good different events here, different things to see. So I'm looking forward to it. And I have never been to Canada before.
Yeah, so a couple people are asking about the money. We do have a big money difference. I believe you guys are 40 cents more on the dollar, which means you guys got big time shopping power. So again, you guys want to buy little Canadians dinner and lunch all the time. We appreciate it. Just because your dollar goes farther than ours up here.
Do I need to get Canadian money?
Well, that's a couple of the questions that are in the chat. You don't have to get it. Bank machines will convert it for you. And debit machines and stuff like that will convert it for you. But any ATM machine that you go to will use the conversion at that time and spit out Canadian money for you. So you could probably grab a couple $100 just so you got it and you're not using your debit all the time, especially if they're going to charge you each time you use it.
Okay.
But if that's the case, I'd probably only get $200 out for the weekend per person, Canadian, and that should subside you across.
Okay.
Yeah. The most you're going to get is having to pay for gas. And if a lot of people are carpooling, gas prices won't be too much. Just whatever people donate to your drivers. And that's one of the big things is staying at the hotels, guys. That's where we will be picking you guys up. So, well, I'm going to do another video next Sunday, giving the locations of each place, what time we're going to be there, what we're doing. If you need a ride or if not, people are going to have to pay attention because there's going to be a few questions in there that need to be answered in the chat. So if you do need a ride to some of these events, you have to tell us what hotel you're going to be at. And then I'm going to tell you to get to the other hotel probably because the 3 hotels that people are staying at are relatively close, like walking distance to each other. So it's really good. So yeah, money should not be an issue. Like I said, any ATM machine, if you go to, it'll spit you out $200 Canadian, and that'll be it. So,
Okay, easy enough.
and I would not suggest spending your US dollars up here just going into a store. The great trick is, I'll give you 20% for it, and then they take it to the bank and they get 40% for it. So, try not to spend your American money here.
Excellent. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, but you've been to a couple of my other ones, if you remember some of them anyway.
I do. Strasbourg and Reading. And then I met you at the Bernie's train show up there.
Yep.
And the Scranton.
Yeah, I got to get back up to Bernie's too, and Timonium in October. I'm hoping to get down to, but no promises yet. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it'd be nice for me to get to Bernie's show. Like, it's one of the better ones for me to go and walk around and flaunt the old Sparky name every once in a while. So it's fun helping him out.
Very good.
Anything that you're looking forward to for this meet and greet? I know it's all Canadian stuff, so probably be
I think that little Canada thing looks exciting. And just actually getting a vacation this summer. It's been a pretty busy and brutal summer on a lot of things. And just this is so far the only vacation that I'm getting. So, yeah.
Well, and there's another hotel option for people that are still booking. Travel Lodge by Wyndham, Cambridge on Hespeler Road. So that won't be too far away either. So again, we'll just need to know where people are to pick them up. So, but again, that'll be a video I do next Sunday. So like I said, anybody coming to the meet and greet that's going to be staying in hotels, needs rides, or can give a ride to people, or needs picked up in different towns even. I do have people in London coming, the Sarnia area. There's a person coming. So if you're in between there and there, we can actually accommodate pickups and drop-offs. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just, one of my big exciting parts is going to be getting back into the St. Thomas BX Tower. It's just a memory I had when I was a kid walking past one time. And you remember back in the day when all the trains were friendly and people friendly type thing and open to the public. And the BX, I kind of stared there and was staring in their windows for a bit. So they said, hey, come on up and see what we're doing. And the train went over the diamond and then had a couple switches that went through. So they're just putting on a show, grabbing a hold of these big, huge levers that are coming out of this desk. And they double click them and give them a yank, double click the next one and throw it forward. And I haven't been in it again since I was a teenager. It's been all rehamped. Electrical's redone in it and everything else. And I was talking to the electrician that's doing the work, and he said that's going to be done the day before the meet and greet. So it should be perfect. Stay there.
All right. That sounds good. I am looking forward to it. Got a hotel. I got a passport. And I'll be ready to go.
Awesome. You coming up Thursday or the day before?
Friday morning.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to confuse myself. So, like I said, I need some sleep. Sent you some tax money. Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Was that my PayPal that just went off? No, I can't check it right now, Possum, but if you send me some tax money, thank you very much, buddy. Always helps out. I said that was kind of a stupid mistake on my part because being Canadian, I know there's taxes on everything you buy and services that you get. There's taxes. So I don't know why I assumed that the number that she gave me was with taxes, but hey, not a big deal. So yes, I'm excited for the whole thing. Like Larry Broadbent, I've never met this man, but he is a railroad icon and a legend in this part, like New York Central, Conrail, CN, Port Stanley Railway, volunteers down there now. He worked for the GM plant building locomotives and test driving them out. So I can't wait to ask the guy like many, many, many questions that might just take me until midnight. So you guys might be over here running trains without me. So I hope somebody knows the NCE system.
I'm a DC only guy.
Can't help you there. I don't have one of those. Yeah, unless you got some more questions, that's all I got.
All right. Like I said, I did take what you had and I made a Word document. I was going to put that up, but I think you covered the whole schedule and everything. So.
Yeah, you can send it to me in an email.
Okay. Very good.
Or you can show it to the screen. Who cares?
Well, that's what I try to do, and you can't see it. Right.
And Life with Roscoe, it'd be nice if you popped up. I know you've been to a couple of my meet and greets too, bud. And then come up, I'll give you a special shirt and a mug. It says YouTube meet and greet. Make up for my mean comment I had on one of your videos that I do feel bad about after you explained yourself. So, that's the story between me and Life with Roscoe. Mason-Dixon Railroad, when does hockey start? It's always October. Sure it does. Or is it September? Sure, it's the first week of October. So yeah, that's all I got. August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. 4 p.m. start for the 22nd. 9 a.m. start for the next 2 days. Yes, that's why I just said 22nd. I always want to say Thursday, and I'm working Thursday, so don't come Thursday or you'll watch me at work. Which, if you're staying in the Hilton, you can actually do that by looking out your window and seeing where I work. So,
okay. All right, Sparky. If that's your meet and greet, I'm going to go ahead and go on with this remote control here and how this actually works.
Excellent, because I want to see how this works.
All right.
So you're going to have to kick me out. And then
actually, you can still have your face up there if you want and add comments on.
No, you're going to kick me out because I'm going to go upstairs and shut down my computer shed. Train shed.
All right.
Get ready for bed. Up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So.
All right.
All right, bud. Thanks for having me on, talking about it. You could try to at least look excited that you're coming to Canada.
I am excited. Like I said, Sparky, it's been a busy summer.
Come on, just a little smile.
When I get in the car and I start driving, I'll be all smiles, I promise.
No doubt, bud. No doubt. I can't wait to see everybody there, so.
All right.
All right. I am going to click out of this StreamYard thing and let you have your show back.
Awesome.
All right. Take it easy, bud.
All right. I'll see
you soon.
Okay. So like we were talking about, this is a MTH action car. You know what? I can unplug that and turn the sound off of that. So then that works just fine like that. Okay. So what is making this function is this little board here. You have a wireless receiver and a wireless transmitter. And I'll show this bigger in a second here. And I want to talk to you about it. So you got this little thing here. Kind of looks like a little G.I. Joe walkie-talkie or something. But so there's 4 buttons on there. And it controls this little thing here. And this works on 5 volts. And you have 4 5-volt output pins. And then the other pin here on the end is just to show you that it's working. So the reason I put up this slide here is just to show you the specifications and the fact that I paid $4.68 for it So no big deal. And yeah, it uses, you have to get a battery for it. It's a, what did I say there? An 823 battery, a little 12-volt battery. So we'll remove that. Let me make this slide bigger here. Go to that one. Okay. So that's what we have right there, this little 4-channel output. And as I started to mention in the slide there, this does not come with a stupid antenna. There's like a little port on here that says antenna. So what you have to do is get a piece of wire that is about 9¼ inches long or 9½, wrap it around something and make yourself an antenna for that. Okay. So I'm going to show you, I made this little setup here just to show you how it works. And we have this plugged in? No, I do not. Let me plug this guy in here. Just a minute. Okay. So we should have 5 volts on there. Wait a minute. Let me turn this off. Okay. So you can see I just hooked up the outputs of this board here to some relays just for demonstration purposes. And what will happen is I press a button and you'll see an LED come on. Okay. There we go. Okay. So like I said, this last LED is just telling you that it did in fact get a button press. And then these other ones are the outputs. Okay. Now, the one thing about this is there are, okay, yeah, it says A, B, C, and D. That does not necessarily equal 1, 2, 3, 4 coming out of there. So what you have to do, okay. So what you have to do is set this up and then find out, you know, if you press A, well, let's see here. If we press A, that's actually lighting up the third one here, if you can see that. Or let's cover this one here. So A is the third one, B is the first one, C is the fourth one, and D is the second one. Okay. So basically what we're doing is taking a 5-volt output from this board to control the boxcar. Okay. So let me pull up the schematic for this. Share screen. We want to share screen number 2. I have to go back and forth here. Okay. And you are not seeing that screen, are you? No. I said share screen. And oh, I have to add that to the stage. There we go. Okay, let me go over to here to get you the drawing. Okay, so that is basically the drawing of how that works. And I'm going between 2 screens, so bear with me here. So yeah, that's showing you what we have. So there's a motor in here that operates the, where'd the motor go? Here's the motor on the back here that operates the door, and there's a gear on the top. That's what I was trying to show you the top of it. Okay, so basically what we're doing is taking, you see on the top there it says motor, and then we're taking, there's 9 volts already in this, and we're sending that through a voltage regulator to get that down to 5 volts to power the controller. And then there's a MOSFET in there. It's used for switching. So basically what happens is when you put a 5 volt, when you have a 5 volts coming out of this little controller, that will switch that and put a ground on one side of that motor to make it work. So I know that that's, you know, if you're not electronics tech, it's might be a little bit much to understand, but basically what you're doing, like I said, is taking that little controller that I showed you. It has a 5-volt output. It's controlling a MOSFET, which is kind of like a transistor, putting a ground on one side of the motor and making it work. Okay. So I don't want to be over technical, but if you want to try and build one of these, I'll be happy to share that information with you. Because, of course, like I said, I did not design this. I copied it off of something that Dell had sent me. And again, here's the website that I copied it from. So it's showing you the UCS track there. So we're eliminating the UCS track basically. And he has a drawing there showing, you know, what we're using, the parts. So we're using a MOSFET, a voltage regulator, 2 diodes, and a capacitor just to keep the voltage steady. And you're showing a remote control and the wireless receiver. Okay. And so here's showing the motor. Like I'll show you this bigger here. But yeah, there's the motor. So we just tied in 2 wires and I made them the same color, white and yellow. And then you also need a ground off of this relay switch on the top. So I'm just showing you what this is. If you look at that video or that web page, it'll show you. So this will kind of give you a little more information, a little upfront of what's going on. Move the mouse over. Yeah, there you go. There again, it's showing how the ground wire is tied into that switch. And I'm going to show you this from underneath. So this is the drawing that he provides. And this is showing a 78L05 for a voltage regulator, which is smaller. I use something different. Let me go. I'll show you that in a little bit. But basically, like I said, if you look in the middle, that box, that rectangular box in the middle there, is a voltage regulator to supply a steady 5 volts to the receiver. And so here's a drawing of how he made this circuit on a little circuit board. And I tried that and I could not fit it in there. And I'll show you what I built in a minute. So like I said, this is, what he built in here. Okay. So let's see. We don't need to see that. So we can click on stop showing screen. Let me get my mouse over to the right page. And we want to go to show you this really big. So I didn't put this back together just so I could show you what's going on in here. Give me a minute. Let me take these screws off the bottom. Let me show you what's going on in here. Do this carefully. So here we go. I couldn't get, that board all the way in there like he built it. So I put, there's the MOSFET tucked in there underneath the motor and the voltage regulator, the 2 diodes and the capacitor. I made a little board for it. And then there's the receiver in there. So you've got a good amount of room in here. Let me show you real quick. I tried to build that circuit like he had in the drawing, and that just did not fit in here. So I went ahead and did it a little bit different so that it all fits in there. Okay. No, they're not 256 screws. So let me carefully get this in here without smashing wires or whatever. I guess that should fit. No. Why do we have a problem with the wires here? Let me just get this back together so that everything fits the way it's supposed to. I think that's in there. Find out where the screw holes are. Okay. All right, give me a second. I'll put this back together and we'll show it in operation and see what else we need to cover here. Sorry about that, guys. What else? Get through the see if I missed anything on the chat here. Oh, okay. That was from before. Okay, I think we covered everything on there. Okay, I'll leave Sparky's note up there for a second while I put a couple screws in here. Del, you're going to have to explain to me how these crates are actually supposed to go in here. And I'm going to put this together. So, like I said, the reason that I did this the way I didn't put it all together, because, I mean, if you want to do this project, if you want to build this, so you can see what you're looking at and how to take this apart and how that kind of works. Give you an idea. So I can just say, oh, it works. And then, if you don't know how to take it apart, then you don't know how to take it apart. Unless this goes on. Okay, that fits just so. Let me see if I did that right, because there's a door here. Yeah, one of these doors has a tab on it. Let's see, that goes here. And that's what I had the problem with, right? Or does that go on the other side? Let me see here. Well, I hope I did that right. Well, we'll see what happens here in a minute. So, yeah, you got to put your doors in, and then you have the piece that goes on the bottom that holds that door in place. And for some reason, that's not going in just so. Do I not have something put together correctly? Where did that go on top? I thought that maybe I don't have this together tight. Oh, that should go in there. There we go. Hopefully I got that in. Let me see if that works correctly. And I didn't put the door on the wrong side. Okay, so that side is in fact working correctly. Okay, let me put the rest of this back together. Well, actually, it's not that important. I'll put it back together just so, Del knows that his action car goes back together and it works and I didn't break it. So like I say, you saw it, it's not broken. So these guys go on the bottom here. Hold the door in. Like that. And then we just have a couple of screws that hold those in. Like that. Sorry, folks. Well, that's why I already did this, and there's no sense in me trying to build this while everyone was watching, because then you're just watching me burn myself with a soldering iron. So I did the project, and then just to show you how it fits in there and how this action car comes apart and so forth, I figured I'd show you that. So let me see if I can get these screws in the bottom of it here for you. Like that. Hold on a minute. I'll get back. I'll get to the chat here in just a second. Trying to get the screws in. Okay, 846. We were not doing bad. Okay. So there's a little straw in here or something. I don't know what that's for. Maybe somebody could explain that. Real can of beer, just a real small can of beer. Yeah, right. He had me worried there for a minute because of what I had to go through to reserve the hotel, and then he started talking Thursday, and I went back and watched his videos several times. Real small cans there, like I said, like that. Okay, that's on the track. Let me see. So what you have to do is press the button down. You have to hold it for a second because it has to get past. There's a limit switch in there, the switch that I showed you on the top. So the door has to get past that point. So you actually have to hold this button in for a few seconds, and then it will operate like that and throw out your case of beer. Hey, Thomas Grassi. Welcome. So that's basically how it works. I don't know how these are supposed to go in. Are you supposed to, can you open up this door and like set them in? I thought, like I have the milk bottle car, and you just feed the milk bottles in the top. So, like I said, I didn't put this together before, and this is not my car. So I don't know how you're supposed to load these in there. So I don't want to, sorry, I'm getting through chat there. So I don't want to, hold on, if I had a couple of these. No, because if I put 4 of them in there, then they'll just, if I stacked up 4 of these and put them in there, then it'll push them all out at the same time. So, yeah, that's basically what, sorry folks, I'm getting a mess here. So that's basically what this was about tonight, was using a little remote control and this little receiver here. It's a 5-volt receiver, and you can make it do things for your cars, and then you could eliminate the UCS track for your cars. I suppose you could use it for lights or something. If you wanted to put, if you had like a passenger car and you wanted LEDs in there or something, and you wanted to turn it on and off, you can use a latching relay. And I did set up a little circuit here. I can show you how that works using the same remote. Let me turn that off so I'm not operating the thank you, Bob. So I'm not operating the action car. So I'm going to disconnect the LEDs here. What did I do on? I need 2 of these. Just a minute here. what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is connect two of the outputs from one of these remotes to these relays. Like I said, they're called latching relays. So one relay turns it on and stays on, and then the other relay turns it off and it stays off. So I've got a little bit going on here with the grounds and so forth of how that works. Let me get my ground wires together here. Okay, and get this out of the way, that out of the way. Let me see if I did this right. Got that turned off. Let's see. What did I do wrong? Don't have. Oh, I don't have a plus 12 hooked up, or my plus 5. Just a minute. Let me get my wires in here where they belong. See if this will work. There again, I lost the ground wire. There we go. So you press one button to turn it on, press another button, turn it off. So if you wanted to use this same control board here, this guy here, using some latching relays, you could in fact turn off. There we go. So we turn B to turn it on and D to turn it off. So you can do that. So even though the outputs of this board here is momentary, you can still use it for that, for latching relays. Did I have anything else tonight? So basically that's that circuit. So I just wanted to show you that because like I said, I'm working on this for Dell. I thought I had something else here. We're going to talk about, what is it, 853? Let me check my chat here. Yeah, right? I sat here and I tested all this stuff, and then I go do live stream, and then nothing works. I'm looking through my chat. Car owner said loading door on other side for crates, 2 cycles to eject. That's what I was wondering if, like, you're supposed to. Oh, well, it says load them in here. That's what I was thinking. Do they, or do I have to activate it to put them in here? I'm sorry, I have my big fat head in the way. Let me see what's in there. Okay, I didn't see that in chat. So I'm sure there's open the vertical door. Is there another door on here? I don't want to break this. Wait a minute. Okay, now I feel stupid. Shorts in the directions. There we go. I'm going to get the other ones in here. All right. So to get them in here, this one will slide open. You don't have to do anything. And now I got them in there crooked. Let me start over. Hold on there. Okay, I get 3 of them in there. So you put them in the door on that side, close the door. My track's coming apart. Put power to it. I was going to push out an empty. Let's see if the next one drops in. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, the shadow's in the way. Get a light on here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, you got to hold this button for a couple seconds. Awesome. So successful. Let me turn this off. So there you go. I think I think so. So yeah, that eliminates the need for the UCS track, and you can have this anywhere you want on your layout. In other words, if it doesn't stop exactly where it's supposed to, then it's, you know, in other words, you could have like a loading platform like this big, and the car could, you know, stop anywhere in between. And I still have my relay hooked up. Oh, one thing I did find out is, so I ordered 4 of these. With, you know, it's a receiver or a transmitter and a receiver. You know, 4 transmitters, 4 receivers in a package, and like this transmitter will work with any 4 of these. As you can see, as I was operating the box car, the LED was coming on, and this one here was working as well as the one that was in there. So, you know, needed for HO. Well, all I could tell you, Dundas, is, you know, that's the size of it. And if you could jam that into an HO car, then Bob's your uncle. And, you know, get 5 volts. All you need is 5 volts. And, you know, you can put a battery on it or whatever. And you can have it do whatever you want. What was I going to say about this? Oh, so actually, this is a buck converter. So this will take like 0 to 30 volts, and it could be AC or DC, and it doesn't really matter how you hook it up. And then you can get DC out of it up to, I think, 25 volts or something like that. And there's a little adjustment on here. So I was going to use this for this, but it turns out that it already has the 9 volts to operate the motor, and all we're doing is taking the 9 volts off the motor to get the 5 volts to make everything else operate. So you don't really need this. But if you needed something, if you needed 5 volts in, you know, HO or O gauge, you can use these little guys for a power supply. So I think that is all I have. Did we really want to hear about 256 screws? I was going to talk about number 256 screws. Okay, Mason Dixon, thanks for joining. One thing I'm gonna put a note every once in a while. We talk about 3D printing and so forth. I printed a box for my sockets. It's a little box to put my 1/4-inch sockets in, and this was made with PLA. And if you put PLA like in your car and it's a hot day, it's going to melt. And you know, that's not a camera trick or anything. This thing literally melted in the because I left it in the car on a hot day. So that's what happens with PLA if you leave it in the car. So the joke was yesterday, Boxcar Jerry did a live stream when we started talking about 256 screws. So basically, 256 screw is a number 2 screw, and it has 56 threads per inch. And I was trying to explain to him. So I've got an assortment here of 256 screws, which is normally what you would need to hold in a coupler. So, yeah. like vinyl. Hold on, the mouse is over here. The mouse is not working the way it should. Yes, there was a very long conversation about 256 screws yesterday. Let me turn this off. Did I miss anything up here? Just a second. Okay, all good there. Okay, so that's all I have. So that's how a remote control box car works. And the circuit, like I said, the link to the original plans is in the description of this live stream. So if you want to do it yourself, and if you have any questions, let me know. I can help you. And I think I have a couple more of these to do. So that is all I have for tonight. Sparky's live stream, or meet and greet. So if you're going to the meet and greet, I will be there. I know Nathan will be there. And looking forward to a good time. All right. Is there anything else I missed on here? Thank you very much, Bob. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. All right. Thank you, John number 2. So that's that project. Thank you all so much for watching. And we'll see you next time. Who's going to be here next time? John. You're welcome, Dell. Does anybody know who's going to be here next week? I do not have that. I'm sorry. Okay, I guess we'll find out. Probably Ray. Okay. So Bob from PKNW has the live stream next week. All right. Make sure you see him. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. All right. Peace.